Utilitywise is an energy and water cost management consultancy that helps businesses cut costs, reduce consumption and lower their carbon footprints. Well, CEO Jeff Thompson joins me now. Hello there, fresh
Hi.
From Newcastle.
Indeed,
or
yes.
Up north. Well, thanks for coming in. First of all, tell me a little bit more about the company. What kind of companies would take on your services?
Well, the first thing to say is we work for commercial businesses in the UK, but also increasingly now in Europe. So we're not working in the residential market, just in the commercial space. Over the years, we've obviously built up the number of customers that we're supporting. So we now have approaching 30,000 customers in the UK, plus several thousand in mainland Europe. And really what we do is we engage with those new prospects and our existing customers, and as you said, to try and help them procure gas, power and water more effectively, but also help them manage, monitor consumption and reduce their spend and really identify waste and inefficiency.
So what are the main problems that companies have in that sphere? Getting higher bills? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things really. I mean, we've got a range of services that we help customers with, so it could be that we start with a particular organisation, maybe helping with water consumption and leak detection and bill verification. So my point is that there's a whole range of services, and it's quite a complex market. And what I mean by that is if you're running a business and you've got to focus on your kind of day job, if you like, it's quite a complex space, making sure that you're buying gas, power and water at the right tariff is one thing, but also making sure that you're monitoring your consumption. How do you compare to national standards? How do you compare to your competitors? So we can provide benchmarks and reporting and information. So it's not just about, as I say, buying gas and power effectively and at the right price, but it's also giving customers the tools to monitor. And once you've got the information, of course, then you can identify erroneous patterns of consumption, you can identify waste, you can identify inefficiency.
And while you're doing that, they can get on with the day-to-day.
Yeah, that's really the point I was trying to make,
doing.
absolutely, because it is quite complex, and we've built up a whole range of tools and techniques, software, hardware, that we can deploy at the client site to help them become more efficient.
So what kinds of businesses are we talking? Are you quite sector specific or location specific? Are we talking large or small?
Thank you. No, I mean really across the UK, businesses large and small. I started the business back in 2006, and at that time we had really a kind of SME focus, if you like. But as we've grown and developed, we've now got two divisions within the group, within the UK business. We've also got a fledgling European business.
But SMEs are still the bulk of
what you do.
Yeah.
Certainly in terms of our heritage, that's where we started out. But we've now got a separate corporate division. So we're really helping customers large and small across the range of services that I've described. So it could be a public sector organisation, it could be a large public school, it could be a small SME single site retailer. So it really is quite varied.
And is it a one-off service that you'd offer, or are you finding that you're getting repeat business, recurring contracts?
Yeah, very much the latter. I mean, the reality is, if you look at our renewal rates, which we comment on regularly, in the SME or our enterprise division, renewal rates are up in the high 80%, and in our corporate division, where we're servicing much larger organisations, again renewal rates up in the high 90%. So we're getting a lot of repeat business. But the other point is that our relationship with a customer can start, let's say, with just one of our services, and then we'll clearly try and help them by cross-selling and upselling additional services to help them become more energy efficient.
And tell me a bit about the market. Is it a crowded marketplace?
Well, I think for the core kind of procurement offering, it has been quite crowded. But what we're finding is that there's a bit of consolidation going on. So what I mean by that is, there's a number of smaller consultancy businesses that just offer procurement advice, and therefore that space is a little more crowded. But what we've tried to do is differentiate our services by, as I keep saying, adding value. We've built a lot of IP within our business. A lot of the products and services we've developed ourselves.
But are you talking to anyone? Are you looking to consolidate, or
are
you on anyone's shopping list?
Well, all I'd say is, we continue to be acquisitive, and at the right time and for the right opportunity. But we wouldn't overpay. So we're quite clear that any deals that we might do would always be accretive, and we've got a clear strategy, so we wouldn't be kind of we wouldn't lose focus in that regard.
You talk about spending there, and I'm just wondering if you've maybe been spending too much because, well, in August you issued that profit warning. Your shares have had a pretty roller coaster ride of it, losing about 40% in the last few months or so. I mean, you're explaining the business, you're explaining that it's a service that companies use, and they're repeatedly so. There's a disconnect though.
Yeah, I think, from a personal point of view, I remain a significant shareholder in the group, so like everybody else, I've been disappointed by what's happened to our share price. But what I would stress is that the management team we've got a very clear plan, a very clear strategy. We've remained very focused on the delivery of that strategy, and frankly, the results that we announced, or the trading update we provided recently, really we were trying to illustrate that we've continued to invest. We've still got significant growth potential in the UK and in Europe. We're investing in that growth potential. So, we've grown our energy consultant headcount significantly, certainly in H2 of last financial year.
So you're speculating to accumulate?
Well, I think it's beyond speculation because,
Right.
We've got a very clear plan.
Sure.
And, one of the things I'd say is that, we historically in our enterprise division, we tended to reach out to new customers via the telephone. And what we've now decided quite clearly is that, we want to become a true multi-channel business. So we've built up, for example, our field sales team. We've got our own e-commerce offering. We've invested in our marketing and in our product management. So there's a whole host of investments that have gone in throughout last financial year, and in particular in H2. And that's all part of a plan. We've got 30,000 commercial customers. The market size is huge in the UK. We've got literally single-digit market share. So this is not the case that
so there's scope to grow.
Absolutely.
You're very much a man with a plan. What's the priority right now? Talk me through plans for the coming months, things that investors can look out for.
Yeah, I think, I've talked about growth. So, one of the things we said at our half-year results was that if you look at our revenues in our enterprise division, there's a proportion of revenues that have been related to contract extensions and renewals where we've extended or renewed an existing customer. So what's important is that we can continue to demonstrate that we can acquire new customers. So certainly one of the messages we try to give at the half year, and I'll certainly be repeating a lot in our results in October, is that this business has got every opportunity and every ability to continue to acquire new business, new customer relationships. At the year end, we had, as I say, approaching 30,000 commercial customers in the UK, and that's a drop in the ocean in terms of the overall market size. So the first message is we're going to continue to acquire new customers categorically. The second message is, of course, that we're trying to continue with the investment in products and services. And what I mean by that is that I've touched on some of the investments around product management, marketing, e-commerce, field sales. It's making sure we can reach these new customers via a variety of channels, but it's also making sure that the product offering or the service offering that we present is relevant to the customer, and that's also been part of our investment.
So you're trying to tailor your products to particular customers out there.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you're constantly driving to increase that customer base.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be a busy time ahead and
Yeah,
an
it's a
exciting
really-
space to be, but you've got to work on that
Yeah,
share price.
yeah.
Thanks ever so much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.